In every corner of the world, there are palaces that don't just stand grand, they breathe history. Golden halls glowing under chandeliers, endless gardens stretching beyond sight, towers rising into the sky like royal legends carved in stone. Today, we journey into a land where splendor and history intertwine like art, a country where palaces aren't just buildings, they are symbols of power, beauty, and revolution. Welcome to Dynamic Expeditions. Episode 88. A Royal Journey Through France. French Crown. Today's 10th France famous palace is Château de Blois. Rising gracefully above the Loire River, Château de Blois feels less like a single palace and more like a journey through time itself. From its medieval fortress foundations to its elegant Renaissance wings and classical facades, this royal residence brings together multiple centuries of French architectural evolution within one breathtaking courtyard. As you step inside, you are not just entering a palace. You are walking through layers of history. Once home to several French kings, including Louis XII and Francis I, Blois was a center of royal power during the 15th and 16th centuries. But behind its grand halls and ornate chambers lies a darker past. The palace became the stage for political intrigue, secret meetings, and even assassinations. In 1588, the Duke of Guise was dramatically murdered here under the orders of King Henry III, a moment that shook the French monarchy. One of its most iconic features is the magnificent spiral staircase in the Renaissance wing. Designed with intricate carvings and open galleries, it's considered one of the most photographed staircases in France, a true masterpiece of its time. Travel tip. Arrive early in the morning to experience the courtyard in peaceful silence before the tour groups fill the space. Best time to visit. April to June offers mild weather, fewer crowds, and beautifully blooming gardens. Perfect for exploring this royal time capsule. Today's 9th France famous palace is Grand Trianon. Tucked away within the vast estate of Versailles, the Grand Trianon feels like a royal secret whispered through pink marble columns and perfectly manicured gardens. Unlike the overwhelming grandeur of the main palace, this elegant retreat was designed for intimacy, privacy, and quiet luxury. Built in 1687 under the orders of King Louis XIV, the legendary Sun King. The Grand Trianon served as his romantic escape from the rigid etiquette and constant ceremony of court life. Here, the king could step away from political pressures and enjoy peaceful moments surrounded by refined architecture and blooming gardens. Its soft pink marble facade glows beautifully under sunlight, giving the palace an almost dreamlike appearance. Walking through its open colonnades and airy salons, you will notice how light flows effortlessly through the structure. The design feels balanced, graceful, and surprisingly modern for its time. This was not a palace built to impress foreign ambassadors, it was built to breathe. Centuries later, even Napoleon Bonaparte chose the Grand Trianon as his summer residence, recognizing its quiet charm and strategic distance from the public eye. Travel tip. Plan your visit along with the Versailles gardens. Rent a bike or take a slow walk, the journey to the Trianon is just as magical as the palace itself. Best time to visit. Late spring offers blooming flowers, soft sunshine, and a peaceful atmosphere perfect for royal garden walks. Today's 8th France famous palace is Château de Chantilly. Rising like a dream from the surface of tranquil lakes, Château de Chantilly feels less like a palace and more like a reflection of pure elegance floating on water. Surrounded by dense forests and perfectly landscaped gardens, Its white stone facade mirrored in the still ponds creates one of the most picturesque royal scenes in all of France. But beneath its fairy tale beauty lies a dramatic past. During the French Revolution, much of the original Château was destroyed, a victim of political chaos and shifting power. What you see today is a remarkable 19th century reconstruction, carefully rebuilt to restore its former glory. The palace stands not just as architecture, but as a symbol of resilience and cultural preservation. Inside, Chantilly reveals one of France's most extraordinary treasures, the Musicon, home to an art collection considered second only to the Louvre. Priceless manuscripts, Renaissance paintings, and rare books fill its grand halls, turning every room into a private gallery of history. And just nearby stand the great stables, astonishing in scale and elegance. They are so grand that many visitors mistake them for another palace. Built in the 18th century, they remain among the largest and most impressive stables in Europe. Travel tip: take time to walk around the lakes for the best panoramic views, and don't miss the great stables experience. Best time to visit: May or September offers mild weather, soft lighting for photography, and fewer crowds, allowing you to truly absorb its peaceful grandeur. Today's 7th France famous palace is Château de Vaux-le-Vicomte. Perfectly balanced, breathtakingly symmetrical, and surrounded by magnificent gardens that stretch toward the horizon, Château de Vaux-le-Vicomte is a true masterpiece of French classical design. From the moment you approach its grand dome rising above sculpted landscapes, you can feel the elegance and ambition embedded in every stone. Built in the 17th century by Nicolas Fouquet, the superintendent of finances under King Louis XIV, this palace was meant to be the ultimate symbol of wealth and artistic brilliance. Fouquet assembled the greatest architect, painter, and landscape designer of his time to create a residence unlike anything France had ever seen. But in 1661, everything changed. Fouquet hosted an extravagant celebration here, a night filled with fireworks, music, and dazzling displays of luxury. Instead of impressing the king, it provoked jealousy. Louis XIV felt overshadowed. Just weeks later, Fouquet was arrested and imprisoned for life. Yet from that dramatic downfall came inspiration. The king admired the design so much that he hired the same team to build something even grander, the Palace of Versailles. Fun fact: Vaux-le-Vicomte directly inspired Versailles' architecture and garden layout. Travel tip: visit during the famous evening candlelight events, when thousands of candles illuminate the palace and gardens, creating a magical, almost timeless atmosphere. Best time to visit: summer evenings, especially during light shows, when the palace glows under golden skies. Today's 6th France famous palace is Château de Chenonceau. Stretching gracefully across the calm waters of the river Cher, Château de Chenonceau appears almost weightless, as if it's floating effortlessly above the current. Its elegant arches reflect beautifully in the river below, creating one of the most romantic and iconic palace views in all of France. But beyond its beauty lies a story shaped not by kings, but by powerful women. Often called the Ladies' Castle, Chenonceau was influenced by remarkable women throughout history, including Diane de Poitiers and Catherine de Medici. Each left a distinct mark on the palace, from refined gardens to grand galleries that extend across the river itself. Their rivalry, vision, and leadership helped transform Chenonceau into a symbol of grace and resilience. Walking through its long gallery, suspended above the flowing river, feels almost surreal. Sunlight pours in through tall windows, reflecting off polished floors, while the gentle movement of water below adds a sense of calm elegance. During World War I, this palace took on a completely different role. Its grand halls were transformed into a military hospital, offering care and refuge during one of history's darkest periods, proving that even fairy tale castles can serve humanity in times of need. Travel tip: for the most breathtaking photos, walk through the riverside gardens and capture the palace's full reflection across the water. Best time to visit: spring brings vibrant floral displays and lush greenery, enhancing its already magical atmosphere. Today's fifth France famous palace is Palace of the Popes. Rising like a stone sentinel over the city of Avignon, the Palace of the Popes is a towering Gothic fortress that dominates the skyline. Its massive walls, pointed arches, and imposing towers tell stories of faith, power, and politics from centuries past. In the 14th century, this palace became the residence of the Catholic popes, transforming Avignon into a center of European religious authority. Walking through its vast halls and chapels, you can almost hear the whispers of centuries of papal ceremonies, political negotiations, and ecclesiastical intrigue. Fun fact: it remains one of the largest Gothic buildings in all of Europe, a true testament to medieval craftsmanship and architectural ambition. Travel tip: take the audio guide during your visit to fully grasp the historical and religious significance behind its towering walls and ornate chambers. Best time to visit: autumn offers cooler weather, softer light for photography, and a more peaceful experience exploring this monumental fortress. Today's fourth France famous palace is Château de Chambord. Rising majestically from the surrounding forests, Château de Chambord is nothing short of a Renaissance masterpiece. With more than 400 rooms, countless towers, and a breathtaking double helix staircase, every corner of this palace speaks of grandeur, ambition, and the genius of its time. Commissioned in 1519 by King Francis I, Chambord was designed not just as a royal residence, but as a statement. A display of wealth, power, and Renaissance artistry. Its intricate facades, ornate chimneys, and vast courtyards reflect the king's vision for a palace that would leave an everlasting mark on France. One of the palace's most famous features is its central double helix staircase. Legend has it that Leonardo da Vinci himself influenced its design, allowing people to ascend and descend simultaneously without ever meeting, a clever architectural marvel that still captivates visitors today. Beyond its interiors, the palace is surrounded by sprawling forested grounds. Walking along the terraces or climbing its towers, visitors are rewarded with panoramic views of lush forests that stretch as far as the eye can see, reminding you that Chambord was built as much for spectacle as for living. Travel tip: climb the terraces at sunrise or late afternoon for the best light and uninterrupted panoramic views of the estate. Best time to visit: late spring brings vibrant greenery, gentle sunlight, and a serene atmosphere to complement the palace's striking architecture. Today's third France famous palace is Palace of Fontainebleau. Stretching across centuries and styles, the Palace of Fontainebleau is a monumental residence of over 1,500 rooms, a seamless blend of medieval fortifications and Renaissance elegance. Its stone walls, ornate galleries, and sprawling courtyards reveal layers of French history at every turn. Fontainebleau has been home to kings, emperors, and statesmen for nearly 800 years, making it one of the most continuously inhabited palaces in Europe. Each room carries echoes of grandeur, from royal apartments adorned with intricate frescoes to majestic halls where decisions that shaped nations were made. one of its most famous moments came in 1814, when Napoleon Bonaparte signed his abdication here, marking the end of an empire and the rise of a new chapter in European history. The palace's walls silently witnessed the rise and fall of rulers, the splendor of royal ceremonies, and the intimate moments of France's most influential figures. Walking through Fontainebleau requires time and attention. Its expansive layout means that every corridor, gallery, and courtyard offers new discoveries, from decorative ceilings and tapestries to serene gardens that invite reflection and quiet appreciation. Travel tip: allocate at least half a day to explore fully, moving from the grand ceremonial halls to hidden corners where history feels alive. Best time to visit: spring or early autumn provides mild weather, fewer crowds, and soft natural lighting that perfectly highlights its architectural and garden beauty. Today's second France famous palace is Louvre Palace. Before it became the world's largest museum and home to countless masterpieces, the Louvre began as a formidable royal fortress, guarding Paris from invaders along the Seine. Its massive stone walls, defensive towers, and medieval foundations are still visible beneath the modern museum, a reminder of its origins as a citadel of power. In the 16th century, the Louvre was transformed from a military stronghold into a royal residence. Kings and queens of France shaped its architecture, adding grand halls, ornate galleries, and elegant courtyards, turning it into a symbol of culture, wealth, and influence. Walking through its corridors, you can feel the centuries of political intrigue, artistic patronage, and royal ceremonies echoing through the walls. Beneath the museum, hidden medieval walls still tell the story of a fortress that once defended a city. These remnants offer a fascinating glimpse into Paris' past, blending seamlessly with Renaissance and classical additions. Travel tip: book your tickets online in advance and aim for weekday mornings to avoid crowds and fully enjoy both the architecture and the artworks. Best time to visit: weekday mornings provide a quieter experience and better lighting for photography while exploring this historic royal residence turned global cultural landmark. Today's first France's most magnificent palace is Palace of Versailles. Few places in the world capture the sheer grandeur of royalty like the Palace of Versailles. From the glittering Hall of Mirrors to the endless, meticulously landscaped gardens and the ornate golden gates, Versailles is the ultimate symbol of French opulence and absolute power. Built under King Louis XIV, the legendary Sun King, Versailles was more than a residence, it was a statement. Every hall, gallery, and courtyard was designed to impress and to reflect the glory of the monarchy. Walking through its vast corridors, adorned with gilded mirrors and elaborate chandeliers, you feel the weight of history and the ambition of a king who wanted his court to shine brighter than any other in Europe. Beyond the palace itself, the gardens of Versailles stretch as far as the eye can see, with fountains, sculptures, and perfectly trimmed lawns creating a living masterpiece. They are a testament to meticulous planning and artistic vision, meant to awe visitors and dignitaries alike. Versailles has also been the stage for world-changing events. In 1919, the Treaty of Versailles was signed here, formally ending World War I, linking this palace not only to royal history but to global history itself. Travel tip: rent a bike or stroll the expansive grounds to explore efficiently and capture the full beauty of the gardens, fountains, and hidden corners. Best time to visit: April to June or September offers pleasant weather, fewer crowds, and soft natural lighting that enhances the palace's magnificent architecture and gardens. So that was the end of episode 88 of Dynamic Expeditions. If you enjoyed these royal palaces, tell me in the comments which palace was your favorite. The most interesting comment gets pin. Push pin. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications bell. Because episode 89 is coming with royal historical monuments around the world. Adventure never ends. New journeys every day at 7:45 p.m. only on Dynamic Expeditions. Globe showing Europe Africa sparkles.